Hey everyone, I hope you are doing well. I have been called to come here and to go live and to share all the things. I just had to come up here and share this. So I had a really great podcast interview today with Bonnie, and I cannot wait for you to actually listen to it and hear me actually debunk some myths when it comes to speaking, but also actionable steps that you can take today. And I really just wanted to share this message for anyone that is still on the fence on whether or not they should go out and share their message on the stage. I hear all the time many of the reasons that come along with why they can't go on stage. And a lot of that is coupled with fear. But the number one thing that I really want to share today is that you've got everything. You've got everything you need to start today. Everything. And what really, truly is holding most people back is the fear. They let that take the driver's seat. And I understand. Going up on stage, sharing your message requires some sort of risk. It's a huge amount of vulnerability as well. You're allowing people to tap into a side of you, right? That you can really cower into a little corner somewhere. You can't do that. And there's also a ton of work behind the scenes that comes into play as we're building out our message. But I want to share with you a few things on why you need to reframe that and get out and start speaking. Number one, here are 3 reasons why you should utilize your voice in this way. One, your voice is one of the most powerful tools that you will have that can amplify your brand. I mean, truly magnify it. So it improves your visibility. Number 2, it allows you to have a greater impact in a very intimate way. When people hear your voice, I've had so many people say, when I send them a voice memo or I send them an actual video of me talking, how they loved hearing me actually share my thoughts. Just think about it. Have you felt the same when someone's actually taken the time to pick up the phone and call you, or to share a voice memo where you can actually hear their voice? It's very intimate and allows for you to have a greater impact for the people you want to serve. And then number 3, it's an amazing way for you to create a sustainable source of revenue for your business. How do I know? It's how I built my first business model. It's what I've done to help my own clients get more visible and have more of an impact. But I really want to talk about what's keeping us from actually going out there and sharing our message, because you've got everything that you need. What I think would really solve this for a lot of people is when we stop looking at our current circumstances and really look at ourselves with a legacy-driven lens. And I'm going to share with you why legacy is such an important aspect for me. So many of you have heard me talk about my burnout story. You may have heard me speak about some of the catalysts towards my own change in my own professional and personal career. And what changed it for me was when I decided to live my life according to what is truly important to me and start living it now. That's legacy driven. It also puts you in a place where you start thinking about things in a long-term way and stop focusing on the short-term circumstances that you may currently be in. You see, if I decided to focus on the fact that I grew up in the projects, if I decided to focus on the fact that I had limited resources when I was trying to achieve my goals, if I thought about the fact that at the time when I decided to get into the speaking arena in healthcare, specifically dentistry, that there were no other Black dental hygienists out there speaking. If I looked at my short-term circumstances, everything was pointing to me heading the other way. Okay. It was saying, don't go there. Do not enter. But when you focus on the legacy that you're creating right now, that will help you push past the fear and not allow it to take the driver's seat in you attaining your goals. Number 3, we need to stop focusing on just the end of our lives, but really living our lives for today. Every decision that we make today contributes to our overall happiness. And so when you're in a place where you know you've got a story to tell, you've got a message to share, and you're allowing fear or the vulnerable part of sharing your message to prevent you from actually going out there and making a difference, being legacy driven will help you move towards that goal instead of retract. The fourth thing that I want to share is that when we are legacy driven, we ultimately will live a more professional life that is fulfilled, a more personal life that is fulfilled, and even our business will be able to reap the benefits. And so I want you to ask yourself, what are some of the false stories that you're telling yourself today? I have a very dear friend. Her name is Natalie Fikes. And I remember when I was going over there telling her about all this stuff that was going on through my head and how I couldn't do this and how I couldn't do that. And she said, Jasmine, find the lie. Find the lie. I needed to find out the false stories that I was telling myself that was preventing me from reaching the heights of excellence that God was willing to put in my own life. But I was rejecting that. And so I want you to ask yourself, are there stories that you're telling yourself right now when you have everything within your own power to share your own story, to share your expertise from the stage? Are there stories that you're telling yourself on why you can't do it? Let's go over 3 main reasons why many people fall back from sharing their expertise on the stage. The first one is they feel like they need to be an author of a book. They feel like they may need to be a New York Times bestseller. I'm going to tell you right now, I had none of that when I started professionally speaking. You know what I had? I had heart, boom, okay? And I had a message to share that was based on my own unique lens with working with marginalized populations. So yes, do you need to get visible? Absolutely. Do you have to get uncomfortable and share, right? When you may not feel all the way up for that? Absolutely. But do you need to have these huge accolades right now in your professional career to get on stage? Absolutely not. Here's the second thing that I often hear people say. They feel like they have to have some sort of sad story, or they have to have some impressive, amazing thing that has happened within their own life to be able to share their story. And that is so far from the truth. Why is that? Because people just want to authentically connect with who you are. And you don't need some sort of impressive backstory or some sort of tragedy that's happened in your own life to be able to connect with human beings. How do you carry out your everyday life when you're meeting people? You are sharing your authentic story. And it's the same thing when you are on the stage. Same exact thing. Because people, my friends, can smell a phony a mile away. So when you stay true to who you are through all aspects and you decide to connect with the hearts of your audience with your authentic self, that's where the magic happens. Here's the final thing that I want to share. You may feel that you have to have the perfect hair. You feel that you may have to have the perfect accent. You may even feel like I have to present myself with the most articulate language there is on the planet. I need to look a certain kind of way. I used to feel like I needed to straighten my hair as an African American woman. Do you think, honestly, that that's going to prevent you from truly connecting with people? One of the things that I've learned after having a podcast since 2016, that's right, y'all, I've been podcasting since 2016, that fundamentally, no matter how many people I've interviewed, and it is hundreds now, people that I have interviewed over the years or I've spoken to from the stage, We are all the same. We want to be seen. We want to feel heard. We want to connect in a beautiful way with people because, one, we're all very similar in many aspects. So when you think about, oh, I don't have a certain kind of look, people are more concerned about your delivery and how you make them feel. And that goes back to connecting to the heart. So no, you don't have to be an extrovert because I'm not one. Okay. Believe it or not, I am totally introverted. You don't have to be an extrovert. You don't have to be funny. You don't have to be a comedian. You don't have to have all of this charisma, but you do need heart. You do need a bigger why than just showing up. You have to learn how to connect to the hearts of your audience. So I'm going to share with you 3 things that you do need as you're going out there and you're considering speaking. The first thing that I want to share is that you need to work on your confidence, okay? This is a real big thing because I often see many of us are scared to share, right? And confidence is one of those things that we have to nurture. So the first thing that you need is you need to start working on your confidence. We have thousands of thoughts that go through our brain every single day. This has been proven by science. Thousands of thoughts. And over 95% of the thoughts that repeat in our brain are negative. They're negative, my friends. So that means that I have to continuously look for ways to pour into myself, whether that is with the books that I'm reading, whether it's with the podcasts that I'm listening to, whether it's the people I decide to have in my inner circle, whether it's me taking time, sacred time to pour into myself, meditation, prayer, whatever it is. I need to make sure I'm tuned into who I am and how I'm aligning with myself to build my confidence. And this is a inner work journey that I will forever be on, y'all. Just today, I said I have a business coach, okay, and a therapist. So if you need to get more than one, that's what you need to do, honey, because confidence is such a key, important part to the work that you're doing as a speaker. The second thing is that you need to be able to create your signature offer, your signature program, your keynote course or workshop. So what is that? And I want you to really pay attention to the choice that you're making in that program. Case in point, when I first started speaking, I decided to speak on something that I found as a trend and where I was closing a gap in the industry that I was in. How many people you think call me back to hear me speak on that again? Zilch. Okay? Nada. Okay? Zero. Why? Because my heart wasn't in it. So when you are choosing your program, your keynote, your course, your workshop, it needs to reach here for you. Because how are you going to get up on a stage and make a difference and make a transformation, y'all? It's not about just talking. We're talking about building a sustainable source of revenue in your business through speaking. That has to come from the heart. It's got to. So after you figure out the confidence, you then create that program. Now you need to curate an experience before, during, and after you're speaking. Speaking is more than the accolades. It's more than you stepping up in front of people and sharing your message. That all feels great. You feel exhilarated once you get off. But what happens before, during, and after? Those are critical parts to your speaking. That's all you need to be worried about. If you're going out there and you're trying to refine the messaging that you're doing and you want to get to a place where you're getting paid and it's sustainable. Once you have those locked down, y'all, it's just a matter of strategy and getting to through some of the weeds that leads to the confusion of people not having this as a sustainable option in their business. And that's the work that I'm doing. So if you know that you are on the fence right now and you're like, oh, I want to make a difference. I'm out there consulting and coaching people. I just want to gain more visibility. I want to have a greater impact. I see these people sharing their message and I know that in my heart, this is what I want. Send me a DM. Share your goals with me. Just go out there and share it out loud. Type it in the chat right now and say, this is what I want to do. I am going to be speaking on stages. I'm not going to let anything get in the way anymore, especially not the false stories I'm telling myself. If you know that that is you, take action today. Share openly right underneath this video. Send me a DM and let's start the conversation. I'm not going to hold you captive. I'm here to be a listening ear, but also to share with you how I can help you, whether it's through my Legacy Scaler Heart-Driven Speaker Program or my Speaker VIP Day. I'm here to assist you to get to a place where you can share your story, because there are people right now that are waiting to hear you speak, that are waiting to hear your story, that are waiting to be set free. And I'm getting a little emotional here because if I allowed those false stories to prevent me from sharing my message, what a tragedy that would have been, because we're not guaranteed another day of life. So let's make each second count. And if you know right now, hey, I'm not interested in speaking, but I want a powerful speaker that can help healthcare professionals or business owners establish their own legacy, create the boundaries that will help prevent burnout or help marginalized populations, I'm your girl. Feel free to check out jasminehaley.com/speaking. I absolutely love what I do. I don't care if I'm showing up virtual or in person. You're going to get it all, baby. You're going to get all this, right? And I'm going to deliver, because at the end of the day, my goal, no matter where I show up, whether it be on social media as I am right now or in person, is to establish my legacy by making an impact, by helping others live more fulfilled lives. So I want to thank you all for your time. I'll make sure to drop any links into the chat. And I appreciate you all for listening to me today. Bye-bye.